Today's daily audio diet is a special one because it's one that I'm going to share with members and non-members. The reason is to give those who haven't become a member a taste of the type of material that I do on these short videos daily. I cover a variety of different topics, whether they be different pressings, equipment, artists, history, different little cornucopia things that have been my personal journey in record collecting since 1963. This one takes me back to 1981. And a gal that I had never heard of, and her name was Judy K. Newton. No, actually, she changed her name to Juice Newton. And Juice Newton's third album was a big hit called Juice. It had the hits Angel in the Morning on it, as well as The Queen of Hearts, and the song I'm going to be speaking about, The Sweetest Thing I've Ever Known. Now, this album is unique. Look at the cover and look at the name, and you'll see that the name is filled in with like a cream color on it. See that? Well, this is the album that I picked up originally. It was at Sound Warehouse. The date on it is December 15th, 1981, $6.99, okay? So when I got this home, I went and played the record, and I realized one of the songs didn't sound the same as I was hearing on the radio, and I thought, that's really odd. The version on the radio has like a pedal steel, a country pedal steel guitar in it, and the one I'm hearing on the LP has like a string section in those same areas. What's going on? So I went and got the single, and it was in fact just like the album that I had gotten, right? And I thought, well, that's really strange. Where's that version coming from? And so I have no idea why I did this. I don't even understand quite in my mind how I found this out. But I think I contacted Capitol Records, which is where this was made, and I just said, can I speak to Richard Landis? Now, Richard Landis was a producer for Capitol, and he produced this record. Now, he's no relation to John Landis, the movie producer. This is Richard Landis, the record producer, a big guy in country music. And person said, sure, hang on. A few seconds later, somebody picks up the phone, says, Richard Landis. And I'm thinking, okay. So I introduced myself. I was nobody. And I explained to him that the version of the song I heard on this album was not like what I was hearing on the radio with the pedal steel guitar. He said, oh yeah, there's two versions of this album that are out. The original one that we put out had the country version of the song, The Sweetest Thing. And we did some research and airplay and realized that that type of country bent wasn't going to sell well on the pop channels, so we changed it to strings. I said, oh, okay, that's why I'm getting the strings on this one. He said, yeah, that's the later release. I said, well, how do I find the earlier release? He said, well, if you find a version that doesn't have those letters filled in cream, that's the original with the country type twang to it, so to speak. And so I was out on a journey after thanking him for the information, and I found one. And it looks like this. It's got the blue outline of her name on the outside with see-through and no filled-in cream. And that's how you know whether you have the country version or the standard version, which was the one that became the hit. Now, you'll hear the difference between these two. It's pretty obvious, but it was quite a journey to find it. Now, years later, I looked up one of the band members, Otha Young, and I somehow came across his name and his email address. And I just sent him a note saying, I really enjoyed your work, especially on this Juice Newton album. And I said, you remember the thing where you guys had to change the country version of The Sweetest Thing to a pop version with strings, and there were two different album covers on it. And he graciously wrote back and he said, thank you, but honestly, I'd forgotten all about that. Thanks for reminding me of it, but I do remember there was quite a little stir there in terms of which one of these was going to be used, and then they ended up using the non-country one to sell better in the pop circuit. So it's funny how these things happen. This is a very cheap album, a very good album. I mean, I'm not a big country person. This is more, I guess, country pop, more contemporary type. But Juice is a great cover song vocalist. She's done quite a few of those, like Mary Lee Rush's Angel in the Morning, for example. She's done a few Brenda Lee tunes and Patsy Cline. So she was a very, very good artist. She's now just living her life as an equestrian trainer and is into horses a lot and enjoying life. But this was an interesting story for me to know that there were actually two versions of the same album. I mean, the SKU code on it is exactly the same. The dead wax is different, but you can't tell that till you open the album. So you got to look at the cover. Cream color means the standard pop, and the non-cream filled was the one that had a country flair. So thanks for watching this daily audio diet. And for those of you who aren't members, please consider joining, and you'll see this and more on the channel for the members. It's $4.99 a month. If you go onto my channel on a browser, not on an app, and you'll see next to the subscribe icon, the join icon. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll catch you tomorrow, members, for another daily audio diet. Thanks a lot.